Guys, this is Tigress coming back to you with episode 21 of Minecraft Craftymon. And I'm saying it's episode 21, I'm hoping I'm right on that. Yep. Guys, quickly want to cover a few things before I forgot to wave. Before I do get into the episode first. Episode 20, thumbnail mistake. Basically, I forgot to set a thumbnail, which meant YouTube automatically did it. I realised when I was basically not in a position to mess with it. Because of the fact of being out, because every so often on Friday nights, I'm at game nights. So not around, which is why there was no stream. It was put Saturday. I covered a lot of this in my rivals. As soon as I got back, I did basically change it to what it was going to be. Potentially slightly nicer too. Basically, guys, I have two ways of basically doing thumbnails. I can do them when going through and editing the video because of Share Factory gives me the option to basically pick out a moment from the episode and use that as a thumbnail, or B, manually go and do it later and set it that way. And I had to go with the manual route this time, which can be annoying at points, but considering like it's an easy like being able to just do it from like when I'm editing it is a lot more simpler. But again, mistake by editing, I messed up when basically the video was processing a lot, and I basically, instead of having the thing open, I jumped on something else which didn't save, and it basically saved the first half hour, which is basically what I saved up to that point. Second thing, guys, a load of videos. I'm gonna say a load of videos. A decent bit of videos this week. There was, because again, I'm recording this early this week just because a case of it's gonna basically be my only chance to then get an additional video for Thursday because again, chock a block. There was the Fortnite video from Monday, which yes, there was a reason why Fortnite was back. Basically, guys, they did another K-pop Demon Hunter thing, and of course, I'm jumping back on the wagon because I'm sorry, 1.7k for 30 seconds of basically Fortnite / K-pop Demon Hunter. I'm gonna take it. And secondly, I don't know at this point in time what the Thursday video was, because again, not recorded at this time, and I've not recorded yet, and I've not made a choice. I'm tempted to go Fortnite, but I'm going to see how new season of Overwatch is first. And thirdly, for all those who don't know, I stream. For all those who don't know, I stream because you don't check in or all that lot. I stream on a Tuesday, Overwatch, and typically Fridays Marvel Rivals. And guys, for a good while, I've basically been thinking, okay, Overwatch and Rivals, they're not the worst things they're not the worst set of content I do, but from looks of it, it's just a case of I'm streaming them. Because from looks of it, most people prefer recorded content, which is typically what I prefer. I prefer having the option of going back and watching something and not feeling like I've missed something. But that's just personally because of a case of I don't always have the full attention span to sit and watch something for a good couple of hours, which is why I stream for an hour. It's not too long, it's not too short, it's still classified as a full stream. And getting back to that point, for those who didn't see my Overwatch 2 video, go check it out. It was really fun. I thought I was potentially going to get copyright strike for a couple of... Basically, in Overwatch, you have a way to basically watch lore-based stuff. And I showed a bunch of them off. Not all of them. There was a couple that I basically had to cut for time. And I thought YouTube potentially, or more specifically Blizzard, would have been like, hold on, wait a minute. And at the time of recording, there is no restrictions. So, again, presuming I'm fine. And getting to another point, guys, the two agency videos I did, who on hell only watches a part 2 of something? Like, granted, it was the agency stuff, so it wasn't as important knowing the first part and all that lot. But again, a lot more people say, yeah, the second part's more important. But yeah, so guys, for all those that do want to basically see me play a bit more Overwatch, but don't want to see me play Overwatch, but either A, want to see more Overwatch, or B, don't necessarily like want to sit and watch a stream, or are free to sit and watch a stream, I will, on a rotation. I'm basically doing it this week, but it'll basically be after I finish the Monster Hunter series I'm doing. And the reason it's happening this week is because I want an additional week off from recording Monster Hunter. Kind of tempted to push it to the beginning of March, and basically just have a couple additional videos of Fortnite and Overwatch for a couple weeks. The reason I'm not decided what this week's additional video is going to be for Thursday is I have no idea. Like, one, I really enjoyed playing Fortnite when I did, but two, I don't know how next season of Overwatch is going to be. It could be really great, and I could want to film a lot more content for it, or it could be like, okay, so this is okay. I'm just going to keep it to live streams for a while. So it will all depend. But yeah, so after I have done with the Monster Hunter Rise monster. But anyways, today we're going to be basically doing some exploration, and I spent way too long talking about this. For two reasons. We're also going to be building, but for the two reasons. One, I do still need to put glass. I'm probably going to do glass panels, or panes. But at the same point, I don't know if I want to. And I also need more quartz. So we're going to do the glass thing very quickly. I'm going to be awkward. I'm going to be awkward. Also, guys, if you didn't see the last episode, I've still not sorted on this because I completely forgot about it. But we got some really cool stuff. I also managed to get Swift Snake. If you didn't see the last episode, I went and explored a deep dark and did bump into the warden. It basically got to a point, the point got there very quickly where I was like, yeah, I get why crouch when there's a bunch of NPCs just roaming around anyway. Also, guys, I've not fully upgraded all my tools yet. It is literally just something I've not done. And see, guys, right now I'm currently thinking, what do I want to build my armory out of? I say armory, it's going to be a little room where basically a bunch of my armors are going to be. I'm half tempted to, I'm half tempted to essentially have like both sets of armory, like there's like my two sets of armories, like stuff, like all my armors on like two sides, like a non-enchanted version and like the enchanted things like I have worn, just to demonstrate them. And then I'm tempted to have like an underground bunker area from that, where it's basically just like a bunch of iron armors and like stuff and all that lot, just like a bunch of gear and all that lot. Now, guys, while I could easily enough grab some sand from here, what I'm gonna do is, because I completely forgot to grab materials, is... Also, guys, if you didn't see the last episode, you'll forget that I mentioned these. Okay, I'll run these back. Basically what I'm gonna do is gonna grab both skeleton horses, because I keep meaning to do it. But I'm gonna basically run these back, and then I'm gonna basically go get some sand, watch it smelt. I don't need too much. I think I just need like a stack. And why I could just easily enough split a stack, I'm not going to, because I don't know how much I need. And quite frankly, I could do with the XP. And while I do that, it's also going to give me some chance to think about what I want to essentially build this, thing out of. Okay, this thing can jump. Also, guys, I do have a few skeleton horses. It started off with like 3 of them. Because one randomly showed up over here a while ago and I picked it up. Then this is like a couple weeks ago now. But before like the last episode, basically when I was just running my iron farm because I needed a bunch of iron but got way too much. I basically then... Oh, actually, how are the chickens doing? basically, at the minute, I said this in New Adventures, the chicken pen is basically going to be a waste of money at the minute. But as soon as I get, 30 chickens in here, like, I'll have eggs galore. And it's also just a case of it's way too big for them at the minute. I also do need to do some carpet, and I'll probably go try and do that today. But like, because there's barely any in there, it just basically means that the eggs are taking longer to get to the chest because there's so many more hoppers. It just turned out like that. It was just one of those cases where it's like, yeah, this works. I could have made it smaller. I probably should have, but I was like, it works. It's fine. Now there is another one around here, which is why I'm gonna grab while I'm here. I've got more skeleton horses than I do actual horses. But so yeah, so I'm gonna pop these, man. I'm then gonna basically decide what I want to build the other room out of, because I really don't know. Like, I've got my more office sort of area, which is also like one of those cases where it's like how it's like typical for like businessmen to sort of sleep in their office and fully on live out of them, which is why there's a couple beds in there. I'm also gonna be popping back into the nether at some point because I do need some quartz. I might also pop to see if I can try and get another wither skull. Also, guys, a choice that I have made now, I wasn't going to because everyone's done it at this point. I am gonna go after the Ender Dragon at some point. But that won't be for a while because I do need to track one down, and the problem with Bedrock worlds, like back in West, it wasn't too much of a pain. Like, you had a very limited sized world. Now it's like you have an infinite sized world. So, but I'm gonna go and do a few things. One, I'm gonna go get some sand. Two, I'm gonna go and get some XP. Three, while the XP I'm gathering, I'm gonna try and get a few levels because I've still got iron axes of them. I want to get diamond and I want to get them enchanted. Because otherwise it's like, well, why downgrade? Why go to an iron shovel when it's just going to be slightly a bit more better when I've got a silk touch and an efficiency 3 on this? This, I think, is just slightly better. Same for this. And this has sharpness too. Like, 13.5, but that has 13 attack with sharpness 5. An iron axe with 10 attack with sharpness 4. My diamond sword's only doing 3 more damage. Now, I'm pretty sure they both do more than what a diamond would do unenchanted. But yeah, I'm gonna go get some levels. Just gonna go sit at the XP farm for a while, and I'll be back once I've got some, and once I've made a decision, and once I've got some sand. So I'll see you in 5-10 minutes. So guys, we're back. It's basically been a little while. I managed to get some levels. I quite frankly did get very much bored because quite frankly standing up there does get boring. I will go and do that all when I need to. And I did decide what wood I was going to use. And of course it's raining. And I don't have none on me now. I'm pretty sure I have some. But I'm basically just gonna... I'm gonna use pale oak. I don't know whether I'm gonna use it in the case... I don't... It won't be the first time using pale oak, so I'm not gonna use the logs. But I also want it to sort of feel like a grainy sort of thing. And instead of just building it as stone bricks, because quite frankly, I'm out of options. I can't just use normal stone bricks because that's what I've done that's what I'm basically doing for the path. And guys, one thing when it does come to me when it comes to making a path, I'm very much indecisive. The only way to tell it is a path is if there is like 3 to 4 blocks in a row that are different to everything else around it. So for instance, path. And I like using deck loads as paths because they look a bit nicer and like you have like a nice little raised edge. Now I did get too much sand. And if I remember what my sand chest is. Okay, that 15 probably would have been enough. I do have some, but I don't know whether... I might potentially end up, say, using that as... pillars. But the reason I don't want to use it as an overall... Because while I think this looks nice, looks great. Like, I'm happy my baseline looks what it does. It looks nice, it looks good. And I've also managed to add some greenery. So if anyone ever does tell me to, and I quote, go and touch grass, which is typically used as an insult for gamers because, guys, if you don't know, which I very much question if you don't, gamers spend, and especially YouTubers, spend like 99% of their time, depending on what content they do, gaming YouTubers definitely do spend a good portion of their time hooked up to a monitor. And by hooked up, I mean staring at one for a good several hours a day. I personally spend more time gaming than I used than most because of things like this. Because the fact of those things like preparing stuff for videos, when it comes to Monster Hunter, you know, grinding all that lot. But yeah, so if someone does tell me, I can be like, okay, come with me. Well, grass, you said touch it. I did. But like, I've more than once used this as like a nice path, and I generally do, and I've also used it as building blocks. Now, my one annoyance is this. I love how this looks. It looks great. It gives me a bit more space, and I do have some food. But yeah, I'm gonna pop to another. Basically, gonna get some like netherite because it's basically the quickest thing I can get to. And yes, I know it made more sense to use the cobblestone I've got. At some point, I might basically just spend a good couple days just going through and changing all the paths, just to do them out of cobblestone. Because I've more than once basically had to, but the reason I basically do them out of netherrack is just for when I do run out, I don't have to then go and be like, oh, I need more netherrack. Nah, this 100% will take me like 2 seconds. Because one, netherrack might super quick, two, it's a diamond pickaxe. Also guys, next episode I probably will just do a bunch of netherite mining. I mean, that looks nicer. Where the hell did that come from? Most complicated way of getting up here ever. Just to then need to go all the way up to there. But, like, I don't think I need too many more quartz. I think getting like a stack, or because it'll be a fortune pickaxe, which will basically just make it so much more easier. Now, what I 100% could, and am tempted. Oh damn, that wasn't. I mean, to be fair, I was aiming to hit it. I just kind of hoping it didn't. But I'm going to spend like 10 minutes in it. Yes. Guys, video proof. Okay, don't be an idiot. Okay, I'm gonna go and try and go for a hat trick. But basically, I'm just gonna try and go for 3. I was not expecting to get any. Not 2 back to back. Okay, this just reminds me of my shiny luck at points. And guys, basically, I've mentioned a few times, but I play Pokemon. And up until about Scarlet and Violet, and more specifically, up until completing the Pokedex on Scarlet and Violet, I was never a big shiny fan. And by shiny fan, I meant never a big shiny hunter. Was never that fussed about it because, quite frankly, I don't want to complete the Pokedex just to get a shiny charm. I'd like to have the shiny charm so I could potentially say complete my Pokedex to complete the Pokedex anyway, plus to get a bunch of the research done, which is how you get the shiny charm. Now, am I annoyed that I was able to complete the Pokedex before I was able to get the shiny charm? Yes. Do I like the fact there's an alternative method to get the shiny charm? Yes. Do I want an alternative method? Yes. Do I want it via research? I get the shiny charm supposed to be this big thing and all that lot, but I'm more than happy for them going forward if shinies are treated more as these rarer things that you can somewhat get a bit easier. Okay, guys, I wasn't 100% sure how much this I was going to use. But no bullshit here. Like, I can't 100% turn around and say, I've not edited that and made it look like, you know, all that lot. I can't. Which I haven't, but, like, again, unless I was full on live streaming, you'd never know. Okay, I now have enough to do 2 withers. Guys, bear in mind, looting 3. But guys, when I say this, I came here, literally, looking for one. All I needed was one. Now, should I have left when I got the one? Probably. Probably would have been a lot more safer. Nah, I was not expecting that. See, I did not know I could jump in the nether and survive lava. Right guys, what I'll do is I will meet you back at the nether portal, because I'm not 100% sure where it is, but I will meet you back when I get there. So, guys, we're back, and I almost did something dumb and stupid. Which is why the wood skulls have been moved into that part of my inventory. Basically, as I was trying to come back from the direction I was going, I was like, hold on, wait a minute, isn't it familiar? And I was right. But yeah, so basically, I was right. I slightly got lost. This now officially become a bow chest. There's the odd sword in there, but barely any. And I ended up on a block and a couple of ants flying at me. And out of panic, I started going, whoops, boop, 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 boop. Like, I just started placing a couple of diamonds, like, oh, like, like, if I start actively placing those down, like, and they get blown up, I'm kind of snookered. Thankfully, none did. But, like, there was lava right next to me, so it was kind of like, what to do? Now, I don't have mending on either one of my pickaxes yet. Also, guys, this is a new dog that I believe I got it before last episode, but I just completely forgot to mention. Actually, you know what? He seemed really nice and comfortable in my bed. He can stay here. Come on, come on. I say him. Potentially a girl, I'm not 100% sure. Although, it is 2026, and the dog can choose what it wants to be. And if the dog wants to choose to be a cat, the dog can be a cat. Now guys, bear in mind, this is about a half a stack of cords. If I get less than half a stack, then I'm going to be slightly annoyed. Over a stack. Good. So basically, I just over double. Was there something else I wanted to chuck into smelt? I'm not 100% sure. Potentially? But yeah, like, the next things I want to chuck mending on are my pickaxes, and then a diamond axe and shovel. Just because they're going to be so useful. And See, I do have some quartz. When I remember the chest. I just don't have, like, I've got some, I shouldn't have that much. If I need to, I will use that. I'm hoping not. We'll go to now, guys, for the reason why when it does come to mob chats for me, why I don't just have one for, like, mobs in general, that is about half full. That's just under half full. They would not fit. And yes, I know half of that stuff is, like, netherrack. Well, some of it's, like, netherrack and all that lot, and I could 100% just, you know, be like, chuck it away or use it. I still wouldn't have enough room, I'd run out eventually. Where's the wall? Crafting table. One right here. Um, of course it's gonna make me. Also, guys, I did finish this, and this looks so much more nicer. I do need to put the full set of lab equipment in there, like the brewing stands, all that lot, and all I need for that. Can I not make... Now, guys, this is the first time in my whole house, and any build that I've done on Craftymon so far, that I have used glass as windows. Now, I've used glass as a ceiling, as like a top of my ceiling, just so I can look out and sort of all that lot as like a roof. But I've not used it for windows, which is typically what glass is used for. Or for essentially, like, you want to be able to see like two different sides, and like for like mini games, and like there's a few purposes you can use it for mini games. But here, I do think it looks really nice. You have this sort of like non-percent like normal like style window, and like why I can't, I'd like to imagine that you'd have like a few little sort of things on like the windowsill. Now, I would 100%, and I know we never would, have an option for, because my downside for not liking to be 10 times square just run around for glass plane for glass planes is you have this annoying gap at the front and the back. I wish you could have one of three alter, like I wish you could either move it forward, backward, or have it in the middle. Like this position for the middle, like, and then have it like left or like right for like back or front. And like for instance, like say this is the back and like this is like the front and all that lot, like, and like have it on like the outside of the block, or the, you know, have it on either outside of the block, because I'd love to basically have like the glass panes along here and then have like a bit of tiny room at the front where you could say put something like say a torch or something small. Now the real reason I came into here is I need to do the roof. I'm gonna need stairs. Although I do need some more XP, right? Guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spend, say, 10 minutes in another, and basically just go and get a bunch. So I will be back in once I've got all that. I'll also grab some more stuff to make slabs, but yeah, like I say, I'll be back once I've got all that. So, guys, we're back. It's been some time. I also did mine up the obsidian that was basically the double portal. Just because I thought if I can't put it off, I basically am just never going to do it. A big question, where the hell does... Ah, in there, that's fine. That works perfectly. But yeah, so went around, basically got all I needed, and... I'd got a decent bit. It is also late. I said I wasn't going to be happy unless I got 3 or 4 stacks. I was kind of hoping for 5. I will take almost 4. Especially when it gives me almost a full stack. Now, I only get 4 from using 6, so I'm not going to do that. I get 6 from using 3, so I get double. Basically, guys, so it wasn't be pointless to, you know, use the stairs, not use the stone color for basically making stairs, no, making slabs. They basically just double it. Here comes the annoying part. Here comes the annoying part. Now, guys, this is not the first time I've basically had to excavate like a decent part of my base. But again, and on this one day, because I would basically be in college that afternoon, so I'd go in, meet up with him after he'd done like his D&D. Sometimes I would go in at the beginning, wait in my class, wait in my class, and then pop with him after, because he would typically be playing it for a couple of hours. But on this one day, my class, the room I normally, because I did media in college, didn't do a full like 2-3 years. I did a year on first. I did a first level year. I did a year, which was my first which I did the second. Basically, I just did a year. And on this one day, it was absolutely chucking it down in rain. My door wasn't open because it's like, okay, yeah, no, it's not going to be because no one's in until like late. Basically, my mate would have like Tuesday off. I'd only have I'd have like an hour where I had to go in, which was annoying, and there wouldn't be no one in until like the afternoon. So the room was basically never open until lunch, unless someone was outside the door. And on this one day, because the one person who normally does wasn't there, I was like, yeah, I'll just go walk around town. So I did, and it was raining, chucking it down. And for those wondering why I didn't just, pop back to my house and not get wet, it would have been more of a pain in the ass. I didn't go college where I lived. I had to travel to go to college. And I basically would, either way, it would have just been more of a pain in the ass. I got drenched. I was full on soaked. And my first reaction, instead of being, dude, like my first thought should have been, dude, what, you'll be in there, what, you'll be at like 11? I'll jump on a bus at 10 and meet you in town. Nope, my first thought was, you know what, I'll go walk out in the rain. Not, why don't I go find somewhere that I can, like, pop to Mackey's or something. And just sit and sit in there for a while. No, I decided to get wet was a better option because I didn't want to deal with feeling uncomfortable in places. Guys, I want to say this, I'm the type of person of, I would rather choose get absolutely drenched in the worst horrible set of weather than pop into something like a Mackey's or a food place or anything like, or Greg's or somewhere I can just go and sit and eat. Because I'd personally start feeling like, I'd start feeling weird and whatnot. And I got drenched. It wasn't fun. But to this day, because of that, I think I want to say because of that. To this day, if it is just slightly chucking it down, I basically start thinking it's like, okay, it's not that's nothing. But it did teach me that sometimes getting wet is not the worst thing in the world. I don't think I caught a cold from that either, so I was lucky as anything. But like I say, guys, that's what the outside will look like. The inside will basically look the exact same, except it'll be full done over. I will basically finish that next episode because I'm pretty sure I've got way too many slabs. I thought I'd have enough. I don't. I do have the resources. I just don't want to waste them. Plus, I don't want to waste them because it's like, do I want to do full quartz or do I want to do something else? I'm really indecisive. I probably will just go with quartz and get more, but who knows. But I've been talking for a lot longer than normal. Anyway, guys, before I do go, couple quick things. One, if you did enjoy the Fortnite video from Monday, like, comment, subscribe, let me know. Two, if you do enjoy the Overwatch content, let me know. I have no problem with producing more things like Fortnite and Overwatch content for video format, or just doing Fortnite more in general, if people are actually going to want to see it. I have no problem doing it. Even if it did mean essentially dropping, say, once cutting down to, say, 2 videos a week, and having one, say, additional Overwatch or Fortnite. Now, at some point, I probably will also check Marvel Rivals in there. Not 100% sure, because basically what I do on that anyway is just quick play. And I have not 100% sure whether I will or not. Speaking of that, guys, when this comes out, I won't be streaming because, again, I say I won't be streaming. Unless something miraculous comes up where a case of planting it changed, I have been told in advance, and this is decent in advance because I was told Friday that there will be internet, so there won't be no stream when this video comes out. There won't be no stream later tonight. And but yeah, so guys, let me know what you did think of this week's videos. Hopefully, starting on Monday, there should be more starting to rise. And I think I mentioned this. I'm pretty sure it was in stream, so I will mention it now quickly. My one concern is the same concern I had in World. And I thought it was stupid in World in the end because it's like, hold on, people love World. Yeah, Rise is a slightly different story. I don't know whether I'm just going to be able to basically go into hunts and not need to wait, or whether I'm going to have to basically try and struggle. Now, guys, first of all, a couple of things with Rise. What will be happening is, one, at some other point, once I've got the gear to basically fast through the solo part of the story mode, because there's two parts. There's the solo hunts, which are mandatory solo, you can't do them with help, which I will be doing once I have gear that can basically just one-shot all of it. And I don't mean full one-shot it, I mean I'm not going to have to start thinking, can I survive this shit? I'm going to be able to take hits and be perfectly fine. Because otherwise it'll basically be the exact same stuff that I'm going to have to go through anyway, so I may as well do all of it once. And two, there won't be no Saturday video this week. And guys, quickly going to say, once I have stopped doing Monster Hunter, like once I complete the series, more specifically, once I get through World, Rise, / Sunbreak, so Monster Hunter World and Iceborne, which I've done, which will then be Rise and Sunbreak, and then Wilds, and if Wilds gets a DLC, the Saturday videos will be dropping. Basically, I was just doing 3 just to get 3 right Monster Hunter videos out. They will be dropping Monday and Thursdays, potentially we'll be going to one of each. Wherever it'll probably will just be a case of a extra video on a Monday. Potentially. Not 100% sure. It probably will just be something like an extra video on a Monday. I have no idea though. It potentially might just be an extra video, say, on a Thursday. But again, not 100% sure. But anyway, time to jump onto the roof and, stop talking. Anyway, guys, I know today's video is being a bit more weird, wacky, and I don't know how it's going to turn out in editing, but thanks for watching. If you are new around it, please comment, like, subscribe. And for those who do really enjoy Craftymon, I'm still doing it. And next week, next few episodes are going to basically be, next week we're going to be trying to get full set of netherite armor. In between episodes, I'm basically going to axe and shovel. I'm then going to basically I'm basically going to spend a lot of time basically duplicating, not exactly duplicating my armor, but making a spare set copy of my armor. And I'm basically going to get a bunch of netherrack, all that lot, and have all that. And then I'll netherite it, and then the episode after that, we'll probably will end up fighting a wither. If I'm feeling like pushy, I might potentially fight 2. Because I had the stuff to do it, but the reason I say is if we get the big old book out. Hold on, what was that? Ah! I completely forgot about the whistle. And the literal case of, here's a bunch of stuff that you should know how to make. I know how to make none of it. Was that what I needed to make a healing station? Who knew? Also, guys, this, like, the types in, like, the element types in the game are nature, earth, aqua, forest, flame, lava, night, and magic. To explain them in Pokemon terms, nature for grass, earth and rock and ground for earth, aqua is water, frost is ice, fire and flame and lava as fire, because it just comes under one thing for Pokemon. Night would be dark, and magic would be a combination of, I'm going to say, psychic and fairy. Probably more fairy for the mystical part, but a combination of both of those. What other types aren't essentially represented from those 8, because there's like 18? The rest of them, like bug, which bug and flying, there's a bunch of them, but again, 8 types is still pretty nice, and they could potentially update it with more at a later date. Oh, wrong button. Nah, that's what I was looking at. I'm being like confused. It's nice seeing how many of these things we actually do have. Also, you can craft them. I've just been finding these things out in the wild. If I do see one that's really cool that wouldn't be too hard to make, I might do that in the next episode. But there is one that I am really excited to make. That does kind of look cool. That I might try and make say next episode. Just because that looks really cool. And I quite frankly do want a somewhat flying type on my team. I do want like a bird. But guys, we are now only missing that one thing to make the big bad final thing. We've got the others, like we've got the flame, we've got the magic, we've got the nature, the earth, the lava, the frost, the aqua, and the night cores. All we're missing is the thing that the wither drops. And only because I want it to be slightly more easy, I'm gonna get 4 netherite to deal with it. Because guys, a while ago, this was a while ago, me on like an old world that I showed on like a stream ages ago, me and like 2 other mates basically went to fought the Elder Dragon. I took diamond armor, thinking potentially was enchanted. Yeah, it was. That diamond armor almost got wrecked. So either A, they've buffed the Ender Dragon because the netherite's in the game, or B, it's always done that, and I really underappreciate it. Although I don't know what enchantments I had on that armor, so it was before I was willing to essentially maximal out. But yeah, so guys, I've been talking for way too long. Thanks to all those who've been watching. This is almost 2 hours worth of footage that we're getting edited down to. Probably about 40 minutes. But anyway, if you're new around here, please comment, like, subscribe, all the fun stuff. And this is Tiger signing off. I'll see you next time. Bye.